Jesus
Because I'm so
Christ.
strong. Let me make sure I'm not smacking on this one. Because I have a weird habit of just like eating food.
You're really dumb, bro. So, I have a lot of topics that I've been typing out.
Okay.
And some of them I'm going to save for like when we get like a big, like all of our people in here.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho,
Hey,
welcome back to the
hey,
Thomas Podcast.
Quit.
I'm glad you guys are back.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Thomas Podcast.
Doesn't matter what you
Um,
say, because I'm just going
this
to
time-
put your gain down.
This time we're talking about
And
boobies.
you don't know what we're talking about. You don't know what we're talking. You don't know what we're talking about. I haven't even said the topics yet.
You're right. Go on, topic.
So yeah, welcome back to the Thomas Podcast. I'm glad that you guys are back watching us once more. Let's go. Thanks for 80 subs. Let's go.
Okay.
Shut up, Steve. Yeah. So you got any topics, Steve?
Yeah. Let's talk about. Let's talk about.
All right. Well, I don't care.
What?
So, I got a new job, right? And there are some crazy things that have already been happening at this job.
He works at.
It's a retail job. Don't you fucking dare. I will end your little ass real quick. Bro. I got the retail job and it's like in the
That's
afternoon, so a lot of
called-
crazy shit happens. I'm gonna literally grab your nutsack so far.
He works at Chick-fil-A.
And I'm gonna kill you. It's a Chick-fil-A is a retail.
Oh man, you're right.
Anyway, so I was in the bathroom, right? I went to the bathroom. I was taking this big old like dump,
Alright.
and I was just
First
sitting there
minute, by the
like,
way.
you know, just like fart. Bro, huh?
Stop.
What'd you say?
Stop.
First minute. It doesn't
You're
matter. I'm
gross.
talking about me pooing in a toilet.
Hey. It's nasty.
Oh well. They'll be alright. They'll be alright.
Ew.
So I was in
What
the
if they're
bathroom.
eating?
No,
What if
just
they're eating?
Okay, sucks to be them. You don't say the podcast. You
Uh,
could pause the podcast, eat, and then
No,
return
honestly,
the
like
podcast.
I don't care what when I'm eating, I have to be watching something.
Oh, I mean, I'm the same way. I have to watch something, but I can just be like, "Oh, that's gross. Let me watch something else real quick and come right back."
Yeah, but
You know?
we got to keep that viewer attention. And if you're talking about
Yeah, they're gonna get
Dookie,
their attention.
That's, like,
let
gross.
me finish the story, bro.
Okay.
Let me finish the story. So I was in the bathroom. And I'm
I hate
just
this
like
guy.
taking like the maddest dump, and I was sitting there like farting, just blowing up this toilet. And then I looked down, and there's a little cricket stuck in the toilet bowl.
ew.
That just took all of that heat, and he just stared at me, and I was like, "Dang!" And I was like, "I feel so bad." I flushed him. That's all I was gonna say. I just flushed this little guy, and he survived. What are you doing?
Hmm?
What was that, Steve?
What?
What are you doing? Why are you smiling?
I'm listening to your story.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, yeah, and then also there was this lady. I was like, I'm a weirdo. Shut up, bro. Quit being retarded. You're so stupid. Thinking you're so cool whispering stuff into the mic. So stupid. Like, you're so clever. Anyway, so there's this woman who, like, I walked up to this like old lady and she was like, "Hey, I got you something." And she like held out her hand. I thought she'd like put change in my hand for some reason. Like, "Oh, okay." Like, "Thanks, ma'am." She puts out her hand and like drops a grasshopper in my hand. And I wasn't expecting it, so I freaked out. I was like, "What the hell?" And I threw the grasshopper in the air. And he just like, yeah, he just died from fall damage.
From fall damage, okay.
Yeah. Why are you giggling like a little
I don't
bitch?
know.
What are
I
you
thought you
doing?
were to like. I thought I was gonna turn. Just put a grasshopper in my hand, and I really freaked out. Wasn't expecting it, so I threw it at her face. Or something.
No. I smacked the fuck out of her with it.
Yeah. So.
No, I just
I
freaked
kicked her
out
in
and
the
she just
shin.
laughed at me. She was like, I was expecting to get scared. I was like, bro, I just wasn't expecting a grasshopper.
Called her bro. Hey, bro.
It was so bizarre. But there's also another lady who kept trying to flirt with me
An old lady.
while I was there. No, it was actually like a younger lady. She's around my age. She looked at me, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute." And I was like, "Oh my god, bro."
Bro, imagine if
who
I
are these
worked there.
people in the afternoon shift?
Imagine if I
Dude,
worked
you
there.
shut up, bro. You're not better than me. Shut up. So stupid. Actually says it. Bro, let's be honest, bro. I'm better looking. They want me for more. Fuck you, bitch. Where's the last podcast where you're like, bro, put pictures of me on your Tinder page.
Oh, I forgot I did
We're not
that.
doing this.
You know what's crazy?
You ain't got no matches.
I got a lot of matches. So much so.
Oh yeah, prove it.
That
Screenshot. Oh yeah, screenshot.
I already deleted
yeah,
it.
exactly.
No, I already deleted my account and everything because
exactly, because he got nothing.
No.
He got nothing.
One of my friends.
Uh-huh.
One of my friends texted me a screenshot of someone else's phone, and it was my page. And it was so stupid.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh my god!" And bro, that was the most embarrassing thing. I was like, "Whoa! I can explain. It was for content."
So you literally got, bro. That's so stupid.
It was terrible. I was kind
So you deleted it because one of your friends were like, "Yo, I saw you," and you're like, "Dang." Now your friends think you're desperate. Let's be honest, you probably
I'm
are.
not desperate.
But you know,
if I was desperate, then I would. I don't know.
yeah, there was a lady out. This lady who kept like flirting with me, and I was like, "Bro, leave me alone," because I was doing like, wait, did I just say the job? Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll bleep it if I did.
Freaking.
There's a lady who kept flirting with me on my job. Huh?
I found the messages.
Oh,
Go on though.
but she kept flirting with me, and like she eventually like walked off, and then my other coworker went up to me, was like, "Hey, like how'd you feel about her flirting with you?" And I was like, "Bro, that was so uncomfortable." And he was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. She comes in daily. She's a crackhead." And I was like, "I could tell, bro. It's the way she was talking. She was like, you get that energy from him."
She's like scratching her head. Hey.
Nah, she was just like
cute.
twitching every so often. It was just so weird. Some random lady, she just kept like twitching and was like talking. She was like, "Oh my god, you're so adorable." And I was like, "Brother, leave me alone." This job's awesome though.
Yeah. I found the messages.
Yeah,
I sent this dumb picture, and
Yeah,
it says avocado 18 in like the bios. Whoa. And it's a dumb picture of me. It says no, this is just a stupid picture. And that they just texted me. No, like, "Hi, is this you or anything?" It's just that. And I said I could explain. It was for content. And then they said okay. I said I don't use Tinder. I'm not a weirdo. Oh, bro, I was so embarrassed.
Man, those poor Tinder users who are all just got called a weirdo, bro.
Yeah. I mean, okay, if you're my
That's wild.
age and you're using Tinder,
Yeah, I mean, if you're just like you're like a little 12.
I'm not 12.
You're a little 12-year-old. You forgot you're like 11.
my
Like 11-year-old kid. It's
little 2-year-old. My friend told me about how he tried to download Tinder at some point, but he's an idiot and he put his wrong age. Said it hit him with a timer until he would be 18. I was like, what the?
damn.
I was like, what the? That's a thing? That's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I can imagine like that's why I don't know. I got that happened to me when I was like 12. Like actually 12. And that
You
was
got Tinder when you were 12?
no. It happened with Instagram. And I was like messing with my settings, like making sure everything was up to date. And then I was like, oh yeah, my age. Oh yeah, my birthday. You know, here's my date of birth. And then it said, oh, you're 12. And I was like, oh shoot. And it was like, yeah, you're gonna have to like prove or like send like a picture of your driver's license or something, like some form of identification to show that you're not a 12-year-old. And I didn't have any. So I was like freaking out. And that was like my page. And that was like I actually posted stuff and it was like pretty cool. It wasn't like at the time it seemed pretty cool, but like I'm so glad I got deleted. That page was so embarrassing. There's like I don't know, I was so young that my bio was Fortnite Ligma balls or something.
Oh my god.
And
Fortnite Ligma Ball. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Sounds stupid. It sounds stupid. And then like I used to post like my Fortnite wins. Like every time I would win, I'd take a picture and freaking post it. It had like memes. You know, like Ricardo.
Oh my god, that's so gross.
No, man. I was like,
Mm.
I don't know what I was thinking as a kid, but I put my actual age, and it was like, oh, you're not old enough, and it locked my account. I still have that account because I've texted it like before it got deleted, because I've now have 3 accounts, but like before then I had 2, and like would text myself and saying like you're sexy, you're hot and stuff for some reason.
What's wrong with you? You're weird.
Is this it?
You just text yourself
no,
that? You're so weird.
I don't know. I was just like, I was bored, so I was like, you're like, I don't know. I just text myself.
Well, you just sit there showing your friends at school. You're like, guys, look, this brother just said I'm sexy.
No,
like,
there's nothing like that. I would just text myself because I was bored.
Because you're bored.
Well,
You're weird.
what's up? Now I'm looking through my messages, and what is it? I don't even know what I'm looking at.
I never like was obsessed with like social media as a kid, or even now. So glad I never got involved in it. I messed up. Wait, I think I broke something. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. But yeah, I'm so glad I never got obsessed with like social media whatsoever. I remember the very first time I got Facebook, and I was sitting, I'd always just play like Dragon City or like what was it called? Just some random like zombie game or something. Some random like stupid pets games too. I played some other random games on there too that were just like really weird. I just played a lot of Facebook games on like my little shitty little laptop that I had. That was the only time. That's the only other like social media that I've ever had. Other than that, I was like, nah, Instagram, that seems dumb. I was like, oh, social media makes people like. I saw people around me like acting like stupid and like getting all upset about like over social media. I'm like, who would sit there and be like, cry so much over this? So I was like, nah, that does not seem worth it. So I decided never to get it. I still don't have it because I still find it very useless. Just get like phone number.
Yeah,
and you're good.
There's, I mean, and no real point, like no actual point. I just found messages.
Yeah, there's nothing that you really gain.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for certain circumstances, like I guess the podcast, like, you know.
Well, yeah, if you could, no, for social media, for like doing like YouTube and stuff, yeah, for sure. But like me, like personally, if I were like for personal, like just me, nah, I don't need that.
I get really annoyed when people like post like their happy relationships or even their like bad relationships. Like I don't want to see that.
The only reason I think it's dumb because I'm sitting there like, bro, you're gonna make all these posts on your social media page, do all this and that, and then you're gonna break up with them. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get broken up, and then you're gonna go on your own page, be like, oh my gosh, I had to delete all these pictures. Just don't take them in the first place.
Yeah.
Or take them on your phone and then just put it on a flash drive and forget about it.
I can't. That's weird.
And then you look back at yourself and you're like, man, I'm so dumb for thinking this is.
I can't lie. I'm kind of guilty of that. Like, I mean, okay. Well, when I post, I have a personal like,
of course you
a personal like account, and you know, like it's not like I have it like it's private, so not everyone can see it. Like, you can't just look at my account and look at all my posts, but people like.
Oh
yeah, but like, you know, people that are my followers or people that I know, like they can see the stuff, and I would just post pictures of like. I keep like saying my P's real loudly, but like I would just post like pictures of, I don't know, me and friends.
Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone. Like just like random junk, and you know, whatever I was doing. Like maybe if because there's like ones of like, you know, spring break or winter break, or I went to a football game, or like Halloween or Christmas or something. You know, just like, or like just when I would hang out with friends. I would like and people would take a bunch of pictures, and I would just post the pictures, and yeah, there's like, you know, like junk like that, and it just so happened that my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, but at the time the girl I was dating, well, you know, she would show up in some of the pictures, so I would, you know, end up posting her, and sometimes, you know, I guess it's like a thing with school. That like if you know, you'll like make like dedicated posts or like people call it appreciation posts, and like so like when me and her started dating, I don't remember who. I think it was her idea. I don't really remember. I like to think it was hers, and I don't want to think it was mine. But she would like be like, yeah, you should make an appreciation post of like, you know, me, or like, you know, like a date, you know, we're dating, like make a post about it or something. I don't know. And I made a post and I was like, dude, like I try and make the captions like at least like kind of funny in a way. Like not really, but like just like something. I like making them either normal or something weird. Like I have like some ones that are called like sexy pics, or like gyat, or found father, or like kangaroo court or something. You know, just like
What?
random stuff.
Found father kangaroo court.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember some of them, but like this one, my caption, which is like, do you know what a caption is?
I think so, like a title.
Yeah,
or
it's basically
something.
like a title. Like it's not like it's at the bottom. You know, it's the pictures are at the top, and then there's like and then save, and then, you know, like your caption.
And it says like a bunch of like hashtags.
Yeah,
and
depends on what you put.
Yeah.
And dude, that caption was like, me and her are dating finally, with like a gay emoji, and I think that she typed that. And I hate to remember it. Like it's so corny. I don't like, now it's just so corny. And then it made it, like, to make it worse, my family saw it, because, you know, like I follow my brother.
Yeah, because all of you guys like social media like you guys are all like really into social media.
Not really. I mean, my brother is. I guess my sister is kind of, but like my brother, he was like looking through my posts, and he saw that one. He was like, yo, this guy can't be serious. And I was like, chill, bro, chill. He was like, yo, you're gay. And I was like, oh my god, calling me gay. And then I, like, after that, I immediately took it down. Like, I immediately was like, I'm not.
Rightfully so,
I'm not
bro. That's
keeping
so
this here.
stupid.
And then,
bro, you was this the same girl that you literally
no,
like?
I know what you're gonna say, and don't even talk about it. I don't.
Nah, come on. I think, bro. I remember you, like, we were in my car.
I don't even
want to.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, you were in my car, bro, and you were so proud. And I remember sitting there, I was like, "Are you sure that's
I was
like
happy at the
to do?" You're like,
time.
"Yeah, bro, it all worked out." I know, but I was sitting there like talking to you. I was like, "Are you sure this is like what you want to do?" You're like, "Yeah,
honestly,
bro, it's chill,
glad.
it's fine."
I'm glad I did it, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing things.
Now you learned that it was really stupid. It's okay, Steve. It's okay.
I know it was stupid, but like,
you were so proud, bro.
I wasn't proud.
That you were so proud about.
I was just like, because,
dude, you were sitting there telling me, you're like, bro, I can't believe that all my effort to go into these classes is actually paying off.
Yeah, because like
feels
everything
so
worked out, and like that usually doesn't happen. There's not many circumstances where everything goes the way that you think it was gonna go. I was planning with my friends on the phone. Like, I wasn't telling them exactly what I was trying to do, but like I gave them enough to
get in
where
the
they
same
could.
classes with this girl.
Now you spilled the beans, didn't you? Okay, the girl at the time that I was dating, I really liked her, and I wasn't dating her, but I liked her. To make matters worse, she was already my ex at that point. But like, I dated the same girl twice. I don't know, man, I'm an idiot. But like, so I was like, oh yeah, let me try and get on because I was like, okay, how am I gonna get close to her without being creepy? Oh yeah, I'll get on my classes with her, so she'll be forced to see me all day. And like, there's 8 classes in total, and I could there's.
Yeah, go ahead, tell her, because I'll put in the parts you'll miss.
Sure, man. There's 8 classes in total, and there's 2 that I couldn't get with her, which that would be math, because I was in a higher math than she was, and I couldn't downgrade for her. And another one was just a miscellaneous class that I couldn't get. And so I had 6 classes I could potentially get with her, and I still had her like school ID number, so I could go onto her like, you know, account and see what classes she was scheduled for. Because I was like,
whoa, I don't know about this part. Wait, what?
Like, because everyone, you have scheduled classes, like things that you picked the last year.
Yeah.
And she was like, I already had her thing. I was like, oh, how am I going to know what classes to get if I don't know her scheduled classes? So I was like, oh, shoot, I already know what her ID number is, and I can just do that way. And that's how I did it. So
you stalked what classes she was in.
If you want to say stalked, sure. I don't know why you gotta use that word.
Because that's what you did.
This makes it sound way worse than it is. You stalked her? What the
You
heck?
pretty much did. You were like, man, I have her ID.
Well, I mean, to be fair, my friend already showed me
her
her classes because she was friends with her, and so I was like, so she showed me what classes she was gonna get. Like, at the enrollment, you usually get a piece of paper that's says like this class first hour, this class second hour, and so she already knew. But then I was just in case she would change the class because you can get them changed. And
what do you mean just in case she changed?
Yeah,
the
just
class,
in case
dude?
she would change her schedule. I was like, okay, I need to know that because it would kind of, just in case. I don't know. It was like,
so you're trying to justify your stalking.
Yeah, sure, stalking, whatever. But
I know the name and title of this episode.
Okay. Whatever, sure.
Is there any of your friends actually watch this? Not gonna figure you out and just put your identity in the comments or something?
I hope not.
I'm clipping all this. It's gonna be. This is the gold mine. I had some topics, but nah.
I knew you wanted me to talk about it for some reason. You kept. I was gonna just give a spark note. Whatever. Okay, so I had 6 classes.
The moment you start talking about it, I was like, nah. He's gonna try and glaze. Just trying to go a little, just say a few things about it. And just kind of what's the word? Go a little bit over it and try and pass it by so I don't say nothing. Nah, I'm gonna say something.
Whatever, sure, whatever. Okay, but yeah, there are 6 total classes I could potentially get with her, and I was
Steve's a stalker.
I don't like her anymore, so I guess no more. But so 6 potential classes I could get with her, and I was like, I'm gonna max it out. I'm maxing this out. I want all these classes. And sorry, I heard my little brother go upstairs and it kind of freaked me out for a second. I'm not used to him being up here. But yeah. Yeah, okay. And I was like, I'm gonna max it out. I want all the classes I can get, just quality of numbers. And so I was like, I think there's reading, history, science, and an elective, and maybe something, I don't know. I didn't count on my fingers. I actually have no idea. But so everything kind of what's crazy? It wouldn't have worked out if it did what I wanted it to. Because I went to the counselors. I was like, okay, because that's how you get your classes changed. And I was like, okay, I need to get this changed. And my counselor, she was really nice, bless her heart. And she was like, man, I bugged her so much. I would because you can email them. And I emailed her once, and she was like, oh yeah, here, I'll get this sorted out for you. And I was like, I emailed her again because it didn't work out. And I was like, oh frick, okay, let me email her again. And she's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll get it work out. I'll work it out for you. And then I was like, oh man, everything's changed. I need to email her again. And then
oh my
by the time I got to the actual enrollment to go to school and talk to her in person, she was like, are you the one that emailed me 5 different times? And I was like, yeah.
No.
No, it wasn't me. But nah.
Obviously not. They just looks you up like this lying.
I was just like, yeah, that was me. And she was like, well, why do you keep wanting to change your classes? I was like, no reason. I had no purpose.
I just want to be smarter,
Just need the ideal schedule for my whatever works. And yeah, man. So I got the classes I needed.
I hope your ex hears this.
I hope she doesn't. I don't want her to. She already knows this. I already told her. Because at first, whatever, I'll get into that later. But, okay.
Oh my god.
I'll get into
this whole episode is just going to be you just stalking this poor girl.
I wasn't stalking her. Okay. But So
I wasn't stalking her butt.
So I talked to the counselor. She was like, okay, dude, she was the nicest person ever. She said like, the classes are full. Like, well, no, because I talked to a different counselor, not my own. And she was like, that class is full. Sorry, I can't put you in that. And I was like, man. I was like, what about this one? That one's full too. And I was like, oh my god. So, and then like, my actual counselor, because each, there's like a bunch of counselors in school, and like they're split up some way among the kids, and like she was like, here, I'll see what I can do. And then she was like, this one's full. She was right, I'll just put you in, it doesn't matter. And I was like, whoa, really? She was like, yeah, I'll just put you in. And I was like, oh, about this one? She was like, yeah, at this point I'll just put you in. And I was like, oh my god, let's go. And I was set. I had everything set. And then I was like, oh man. She was like, oh, do you want this, like, this one class? It won't be with, like, because I was like, it won't be with her, but it's a really good class and I probably should take it. She was like, yeah, you should definitely take it. And I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll get it, I don't care. So I got it. So at this point I would have had 5 classes instead of the maxed out 6. And then like whatever, stalker stuff, I looked at her thing to see, like,
Stalker stuff.
Like, I looked at her stuff to go check, like, like, because that was the day that, you could change your classes, and I checked if she did, and she coincidentally changed her class to the one that the history class that I took that wouldn't be with her. So then I had all of them maxed out. I was maxed out, all 6. And then I talked to you about it in the car, and I was like, yeah, it's so cool, because I was happy. I was like, oh man, it all worked out. And then
yeah, I remember sitting there being like, are you sure that's what you want to do? I remember sitting like, okay, that's how you feel. And you're just like, yeah, bro, like, my efforts are all, it just feels so good. I was sitting like, I don't know, man. Like, what if something happens and,
it doesn't matter. Life is life, yeah, okay, so I did that.
As long as you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, I'm never doing that again, except for with my friend that I did it this year. But that's just because we haven't had a class together since 4th grade. So I was like, it's about time we get a class. And yeah. So, we're all worked out. And then first day of school rolls around, and she sees me in her first hour. And
oh my God.
At this point, I mentally prepared myself. I was like, I got this. I'm not gonna be stupid, and I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna be normal. I'm not gonna be be like, oh no, and what am I gonna do? And then so I was like, okay, let me just act normal. So I talked to her friend that I was also kind of like mutual friends with, and we we're talking like naturally, and I was like, oh my god, like, it's cool that we have class together. And we all like talked, and we were all like. And then she started joining in the conversation, and it was fine, And then, like, the topic about our schedules came up. And she was like, I was like, everyone was like, yeah, let's look at our schedules, what classes we got together. And I was like, oh, yeah, that'd be sick, yeah. And then, so our friend goes first, showing us, the classes. And we only had that one class together, that history class. And then we're like, oh, man, that's tough, okay. Then I look at, her, which I look at my ex's, schedule, just look at it, and she was like, yeah, let me see yours, and I was like, okay, and then she was like, okay, well, that's weird, okay, that's first hour, that's second hour, that's third hour, fourth, fifth, sixth, what, I was like, oh, man, that's strange, ain't it, that's real weird. Little bizarre once you say that we have 6 classes together. And she was like, yeah. And then coincidentally we also had lunch and breakfast together. Oh, weird,
Oh my god, you even did lunch and breakfast? Oh my god, that is so fucking cringy. Ew,
I was like,
bro,
because if you think about
fuck?
it, classes are all right, they're fine, but that all depends.
Yeah, but lunch and breakfast.
Classes depend on if you sit by each other, but lunch and breakfast, if you sit by each other, that's a whole 30 minutes of straight talking every single day. So I was like, because I wanted to get back with her, I wanted to date her again, and so I was like, okay, how am I gonna, like, win her over, I guess, how am I gonna woo her? I have to be around her constantly. That's my strat. And it worked, because later we dated again for the second time. It wasn't and then we broke up. But hey, fine. I dropped my guitar pick and I'm sad about it. Uh, yeah. Oh, I found it. Okay. Yeah, I was like, okay. And then during that lunch, the first day in the lunch, she was talking to her friend, and she seemed upset about the fact that we had all of our classes together. Because she was talking to her friend, a really good friend.
Wonder why.
She was like, I have to spend 6 hours a day with this kid. I was like, oh man, I was like, yeah, that sucks, And after a while of us, being seen together constantly because we had the same classes, so we walked to class together, to lunch together, to breakfast together. I walked her out of class together.
You're such a little weirdo.
I walked her to her car together to get picked up. How it is. And by the way, we're in the same grade. She was actually older than me, so I'm not like a weird, like, this is not like pedophilia or anything. I just like, I'm not. I don't want people to think like I was like a super senior or something, like
a super senior.
Yeah, like a senior that preys on freshmen. Like, we were the same age. She was older than me, by like a couple months, but we were the same age. We still are the same age, but like, yeah. I'd give her like trash for it too. Like, she was like a couple months older. I kept calling her a cougar. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Why is that terrible? Thought it was kind of funny.
Yo, my ex, she's such a cougar.
Yeah, I was like, I'd be like talking. She'd be like, like, man, what was she? Because when we were dating, she's like, man, why am I talking to you? Like, just playingly. I was like, I don't know, cougar. I don't know why you're talking to me. Pedophile, you freaking idiot, weirdo. Like, I just.
All right, I don't think you should call her that. I don't know about that word. I think I might actually bleep that word. Actually,
I mean, she wasn't. She was just like a couple months older than me. That's whatever. But yeah, and yeah, we kept talking to each other. You know what's weird? I think she.
That you stalked her.
Sure, but she knew that I liked her, and people started like making like bets on if what day we're going to start like get together, like.
Did these people also know that you purposely switched your classes just to get with her?
Nah, I don't think so. I hope not. But like, we talk to each other constantly, and I guess it was like, I don't know, like between our friends or mutuals, they would like. He'd be like, oh, when are they gonna get together? I don't know. And then like they like I got a hold like the little thing that they're like placing their bets on. I was like, I hate these kids. And yeah, I don't know. That was my relationship. I'm glad I did it though. Like, honestly, moral of the story, because now I'm taking classes that I wouldn't have done previously, and these classes are really nice, really good for me. And I wouldn't have taken them without her. So, honestly, I'd say all's well that ends well. You know how it is?
No, I've never done the thing you've done.
Don't.
The most I've done for like an ex is like, I don't know, actually. I don't think I've done anything like insane for an ex. I know my first girlfriend, I like did a lot for her. Just because it was my first girlfriend, I was like, yo, this one has to be the one.
Yeah.
We dated for like a year and a half. We broke up once, though, before.
Like a year and a half
it was because,
total, or a year and a half? Like
yeah, in total.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't exactly like an on and off thing. It was more of like, we broke up once because she was very fucking weird. You already know this, that she was really
Which
fucking
one was
weird.
this?
My first girlfriend.
I don't remember the time. The one that came to our house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one, the weird one, yeah. The one that you guys tried to drug to put her to sleep.
That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that.
That was my mom. She was like, she's really annoying. She tried. It wasn't actually like drug or nothing like that.
We
It was
didn't
like just like
roofie her.
NyQuil. No, it was like NyQuil. That's all they just gave her NyQuil. It didn't work. That was it.
She was like a tank or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, yeah. So she would always get upset with me with certain things, and we would fight every once in a while because there'd be like certain things we have problems with, but because you're young, you don't really exactly know like how to handle the situation, and you don't talk things out. And one day, because she was very touchy on this other guy, and I told her, I was like, I'm not really okay with that. She's like, it's okay, we're just friends. And I was like, I still don't care. Like, I really don't think you should be touching on some other dude. I don't think that's appropriate for us in the like in the relationship, especially if I don't personally know him, and it's just some dude that she just met because she just moved there like that year too. So it's like it's obvious that they don't exactly know each other like that. So it's like I don't know about all this. And she was older than me. She was a year ahead of me, and they both played. We were in band, and they both played the saxophone, and they switched like saxophones. And they didn't switch like the mouthpieces. So she was just kind of like staring at me like while she has like his saxophone and playing his saxophone. And I was like, afterwards, I was like, that you cannot be doing that. I was like, that's a no.
That kind of sounds like an indie dude for like sucking his penis. Like she was playing his saxophone.
No, no. They both play the saxophone. They just switched instruments, and it's still just weird. Because he would sit there and be like, oh yeah, I like you, this and that. And she's like, oh yeah, like, I don't really like it that way. But, and then like, they have like weird text messages and shit real quick. Like, really weird text messages. And eventually he left because he turned out to be like a psychopath or something. Like, I guess he threw a rock at some girl that didn't like him or something. And I was like, yeah, this guy's staying away from my like woman. Like, this ain't gonna happen. So I told him to like fuck off many times. She kept trying to go towards him, kept trying to talk to him. She's obviously cheating, but I was too like young and dumb to know. And then she started talking to some dude online. I don't think I've ever told you this. She started talking to some dude online, and anytime we got on the bus, she would just continuously talk about him. She's like, this guy, like, he has his own place. He has like a pool and this and this. And I was sitting there like, why does she keep talking about this guy? And like I tried breaking up with her many times throughout the relationship, but she kept crying and I felt bad, so I kept like keep going. And she was talking about this guy, like she's talking to this dude, and one day her dad got a hold of her phone and saw all the messages that she was sending this guy and this other kid that I talked about, like the saxophone dude. And she tried to break up with me over it because she knew that she was in hot shit. And I talked to her dad because I had her dad's phone number, and I was like, hey, like I was trying to be like a man about it. I was like, hey, like it's something like going on, like can I please like talk to her so I can just sit there and like, you know, we just have a conversation about like what's going on. Like I would like to be informed. He was like, yeah, you can be informed, like come over tonight. And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, because yeah, so I'll talk about it. So I came over, and her stepmom answered the door and was like, why are you here? And I was like, her dad invited me. And she was like, let me see the text messages. So I showed her the text message. She's like, okay, come inside. And because she was very, bro, stepmothers, I don't know, some of those step parents, they're always like, yikes. I never understood why. They're like stepmothers. They're always like, it's like the Snow White thing. Or not Snow White, Cinderella. It's like Cinderella. I was like always like an evil step parent. I don't know. I don't understand why. But so I went in there and I just sat on like the couch, and I saw my ex like sitting there like crying with like a pillow in her hand, like a crisscross applesauce and like a rocking chair. And she was like, I'm so sorry I did this to you. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I genuinely don't know what's going on. Her dad comes home. And honestly, like now that I'm like I thought about this before, and I was like, that might have been like the most embarrassing thing you could ever do to like your child, is like talk to them like about personal stuff in front of their like significant other. That shit's got to be hell of embarrassing. Because she was also into like a bunch of like demon shit, and I kept, she was all into like this
all weird, like what the heck?
Yeah, like all satanic bullshit.
Whoa.
I kept telling her, I was like, you know, that shit isn't real. Like that's not real. She's like, she always got mad at me for it. She's like, no, it's real. Like all this, like I believe in him. I think his thing is, religion is awesome.
I believe.
You know that Satan? Dude from Naruto?
Which one?
That dude that yeah, exactly that guy. Yep, that guy.
Stupid.
She was like, I believe in his religion. And I was like, his religion's made up, you dumb bitch. I was like, you're so stupid. Yeah, I was there like, that religion's made up, and I was like, you're so dumb. And she was like, no, it's true. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we sat down at this table, a round table, and we talked about everything. It was
Cup size?
hell of embarrassing for her. Huh?
Did you talk about her cup size?
No, shut up.
What's her cup size?
That's not important. Steve.
Sorry, go on.
It's not important. And then so we were sitting there talking about her all this like crazy stuff, and her dad was like, "If you because her dad's religious, he's like, if you believe in the devil, you also believe in God." And I was sitting there like, "Oh my god, this is not actually happening."
It doesn't make sense, to be honest. I mean, like, you can't like have the devil without God. You can't have God without the devil. You know, they kind of go
but so
hand in
you
hand.
was sitting there trying to explain that to her as like, then you need to find God and like do all this and that. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's no this is actually like happening right now. And so yeah, her dad confronted her about everything. I had said a little bit of stuff. I was like, yeah, like it's very clear that your parents love you, that I loved her at the time. We're all just trying to help you. Like, I don't see why you're not just talking to us so we can assist you with whatever you need. Instead, you're doing all this weird junk for no reason. And she would like, apparently she took pictures of like their fridge when there was like very empty, and would like show like people around the school. She's like, look, we have nothing in the fridge. I'm like starving. I never get to eat anything. And her dad explained to me, which is what me and my dad also do, is what they wait until they pretty much have eaten everything, and then they go shopping, which is what that sense. Like, you eat all the food in the house first, then you go get more food. Yeah, she didn't like that. She was being a little brat. And so that happened, and so we sat down, did all of that, and only after all of that is when she stopped all her bullshit. That was the what. I just couldn't believe that I had to take that just for her to stop being like really weird about other junk. Oh, and she also like pretended to have a personality disorder, which anytime she did it, I always ignored it. In class, she would sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm this person now. So I just stopped talking to her. I just wouldn't talk to her at all. I was like, no, I'm not gonna talk to you if you're gonna act like this. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm back now. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, you gotta stop that. That's not okay. I feel like, I mean, I don't think it's good that you try and like force somebody to change, but I do think it's like maybe you should get someone out of a weird section of their childhood, if you know what I mean. Like a weird phase out of their childhood, you know?
Yeah, that's
Especially like to that extreme.
what is it called? BPD? Is that what that is? Wait, is it borderline
BPD?
personality disorder? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
BPD.
yeah. No. Well, it's like some kind of personality disorder where like they just like, you know, the movie like Split.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I think it is BPD.
Yeah, but she would like pretend to have that. Oh, she pretended to also have what was it? What is it called? It's like flashbacks and stuff of like
freaking
people who come back from war and stuff.
What is it called?
Yeah,
Man, that guy.
I know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know what it is because I know Grandpa had him whenever like he was getting treatment for medicine.
Hold up, I'm just gonna look it up. What are?
Well, I know what it is. It's like freaking hell, fuck. What is it?
You can just cut this out, but flashbacks,
PTSD.
PTSD, yeah, okay.
Yep, PTSD. That's what it is. PTSD. She pretended to have PTSD because she was like, "Yeah, my dad went to war, so
he told me about this.
That's PTSD."
So stupid. I hate that.
Yep. No, because I don't think I told you about it. I'm pretty sure Mom told you about it because she was in Mom's room with our sister trying to watch a movie, and she was just telling them all this like crazy shit. And I remember me and our other brother were sleeping in the same bed. And she was sleeping on the couch because Mom was like, no sex in this house. No. Which, I mean, it never happened anyways. And she would text me, and I would have to get up from his bed, go out there and be like, what? Like, what do you need? Every 2 seconds, bro. It was the most annoying thing ever. And I was like, oh my gosh. But eventually we broke up, and I got a new girlfriend.
Oh, no, it was
10 times better.
DID is BPD something else.
Oh, DID?
DID is dissociative identity disorder. I had to do a freaking paper about that in my psychology class. Yeah, it's where it's like you're like you don't have an identity, or you have you're it's just split
multiple
personality.
things or something. Yeah, she pretended to have that. But yeah, she stopped all that shit whenever her we did that whole like confronting thing, which is wild. And then she also got like later on she got like other people involved too. Like there was this one girl that she spent the night at because I guess her dad and her stepmom were getting into a fight or something, and she wasn't like, she didn't want to be home. So her dad, like, just to spite her stepmom, like, told her that she can do whatever. So she stayed a night at her friend's house, and low-key, we probably could have had a three-way, honestly. But it didn't happen, because I had to take my shot. And I was, like, too scared to do any of that.
Okay.
And, yeah. Then I stopped hanging out with her so much and started hanging out with a group of friends. It was me and two other people and this girl. And, well, actually two girls. And we would always hang out, and I was balling both of them. And we were sitting in we and this one girl would talk all the time. And she would come over to my house, like, just on the weekends. And she would show up, and I would just be, like, still kind of sleeping on my bed. And she would be sitting there on my Xbox playing Resident Evil 2. And she would just sit there, play it while I just sat back and watched because I already played the game. And I was sitting there, like, laughing, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you messed up this bad. And then she would, like, pretend to read, like the little papers, all weird. And we were just kind of sitting there giggling, laughing, just having a good time. And I started hanging out with her and all these other people way more often. And whenever I started, like, hanging out with them, I stopped caring so much about my girlfriend because I was like, it was just me and her all the time. Like, I literally wasn't hanging out with anybody else until I started hanging out with these people. And then I remember specifically there was one day in band where this one dude was like, hey, you should probably pay more attention to, like, your girl, dog. Like, I just think it'd be more respectful if you, like, paid attention to her. And I looked at him and I was like, you should probably mind your own business and stay out of it. And they just went dead silent. And I was like, yeah, leave me alone.
He's probably right, though.
I was like, I didn't really give a shit, bro. I don't take shit. I didn't take shit at all in high school. You talk shit to me,
you were
I'll
right.
take shit back.
He was right.
Oh, no, he wasn't right. Screw her. It was good that we broke up.
I mean, but
very
like,
good
in the sense that, you know, your girlfriend
maybe
was,
pay attention more to her.
yeah, your
I
girlfriend
mean,
was
sure.
Doing your mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she cheated on me, like, with a few different people. There was one person that she did cheat on me with, which I will not say because it's really gross. I think you know about it.
Yeah,
yeah, that dude, and that was really weird.
The one
probably the grossest thing I've ever heard ever.
Did they like
me
actually
ever
do
cheated
anything? Or?
Yep, they full on did it.
And you watched? Whoa, what the?
No, all right, no. I remember because her dad was trying to get us to break up over it because he was telling me, he was like, bro, she is a liar.
Bro,
like, my daughter is a liar, bro. And I was like, no way. Like, he was, even her own dad was like giving me warning signs. He would text, he'd be like, dude, you really need to break up with her. Like, she's gonna mess you up, man. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, our love is strong. Like, a little dummy. And yeah, so even her dad was like, dude, that's just so gross. I remember her telling me about it. It was one morning, we were in band. We walked in the band room and she was handing me notes. She was like, yeah, she said that she quote unquote woke up and was sore. And I was like, sure. But I didn't believe it at the time because I was being dumb. And even mom was trying to convince me. She was like, you know, like, she probably did do it. She probably just told you out of guilt. And I was like, whatever. So yeah, pretty much all that. I was like, nah, screw this. She cheated on me multiple times. I said, screw her, started hanging out with other people. I got together with a different girl. And the day me and that one girl got together, the next day after me and her got together, I broke up with that girl. And that's how I got a new girlfriend. Which was pretty wild. And yeah, then that relationship was normal. There wasn't too much crazy business going on. Yeah, relationships are really weird. I did a lot of stupid shit in my first relationship. A lot of stupid shit.
Did you ever?
Pretty wild.
Never mind.
Huh?
Never mind.
What?
Nothing, man.
What are we gonna ask? Are you gonna be sitting there? Did you ever smash her, bro? What are you about to ask
Nah,
me?
don't worry about it. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. High school. I think high
Yeah.
school relationships are fun, but they're ultimately pointless. You know. I'm probably gonna have another one. You know, at some point. Well, I just spilled the fact that I'm
Oh,
in high
yeah.
school, but you know, whatever.
I remember whenever me and my second girlfriend broke up, I was like devastated. You were there whenever I was fucking devastated.
yeah.
I was a fucking wreck. I was awful. That shit, I hate that era of me. That shit was terrible. Absolutely awful. And I went I went a little crazy in high school. I just like, hey, what's up, girl? Want to come over to my place later? I was going pretty crazy. That shit was
It's not like a
pretty wild.
Like a gym teacher in high school.
Okay, I don't know about,
I was the best.
I don't know about all that.
I was so cool.
Bro, I was just like, dude, that shit was wild. And then I don't know what else happened after that. Now I'm here.
Yeah. Honestly, I think.
Yeah. High school relationships are really more of just like a learning situation. So you know what to do and what not to do in a real relationship and what your standards are for a relationship.
I honestly think
And
it'd
also
be more
being
fun
able to be like,
just go into adult relationships and never have that high school one. Because imagine how special that girl would feel if like you're like, yeah, you're my first girlfriend ever.
but then you know they're also gonna make a lot of mistakes too.
I mean, you're gonna make mistakes.
I mean,
like it's probably.
I mean, I guess either way in the relationship, you're gonna make mistakes because you're still learning about each other. But it's still like if you still have that experience in previous relationships, you kind of already know like, hey, maybe not do this, maybe not do that. This is okay, this is not okay. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just like knowing your limitations and be like, oh, so like usually this what significant others usually like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're a dude, you're like, oh, so this is what girls usually like, or if you're like a girl, you're like, oh, so this is what guys really want? Question mark or something stupid shit.
Question mark. Yeah, I don't know, but like, honestly, because I feel like at that point in your life, like you're never gonna find a girlfriend that's like I have this weird thing. Me and my friends have talked about this a couple times, but like, I don't want to date a girl that's like I know a girl's past is her past. You know?
Oh,
Like I like if like she's like from getting like I never want to be Adam 22, you know.
yeah. See, that's one of my topics that I have too.
Yeah, I never want to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm dating a girl and she's like she's just she doesn't
Like
do guy stuff, but she does girl stuff. That's fine because like I mean, I feel like there's a crossing point where it's like when a guy does something to her, then it's like, you know, then you kind of lose like the respect that you used to have, and like then you get married and then she does a guy thing and she gets trained on by this dude with the I think it's like an it doesn't even matter like but the dude's like packing 8 inches like. And he's like he was like it's open
like Adam 22.
Yeah, it's like it's open.
Yeah, he's just sitting there
everywhere.
like, oh yeah, bro, you were dogging on her, and he was like, yeah, I was.
He's like,
and I was
yeah.
sort
Then
of
people like
brother,
asked him
what?
and like interviewed I think his name was Jason Love, and they interviewed him and they're like, you know, like, do you think you did a better job than Adam, like with sex? He's like, for sure, like maybe with the emotional side, because you know there's no emotion when I did that, but like with Adam probably more emotion because she actually might like love him. But like on the physical kind of thing, like yeah, for sure, I'm a professional. I was like, bro, this dude really just
I'm a professional at
this dude really
destroying his wife.
Yeah, I just banged your wife harder than you could ever.
I don't know about all that.
I don't want to date a girl that's been through that. You know, like it's just weird. Like I want a girl that's been on the same level as me.
Yeah, I don't want to date an ex-porn star. Or even a porn star in general. Nothing like that. Like, don't get, like, I guess, yeah, like what you said, like, with their past and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm sure, like, certain things happen in the past. I mean, some women get crazy. Some dudes get crazy. But if it's to the point where you're, like, telling me you've been in a relationship 20 times in, like, a month or something, nah, I ain't doing all that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
that
like,
just sounds like hell.
It's not like a thing, like, you know, I just don't want to, like, I don't want to date a hoe. Like it's not like that. Like and then like I'm a dude that stayed like 30 girls in my life, like and like had countless bodies. Like I don't know. Like I don't. Like it's just kind of I want to date around where I am. You know, like I've date
Like around your level.
yeah, like I've dated like a couple people. You know, like and I like I just want to date around that. Like I don't want to. I want someone like-minded, because I feel like it takes a certain kind of mindset to be able to like do that, to be okay with whatever you're doing, because I wouldn't be okay with dating X amount of girls and having 10 plus bodies. Like I just wouldn't be okay with that. But like, I feel like it takes a kind of mindset to be, fine with that. And I'd probably
I think it's good to have a like minds and certain things, but I do like it whatever like your ideas clash sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't like having, because I was in a relationship recently, that was like a while back when it first started. We would sit there and talk, but whenever I was like trying to tell her like my like opinion on like the subject, she would get very mad at me and just like leave the call or like just go somewhere else for a while. And like she would just join back in the call and just wouldn't talk. And I was like I'm okay with talking to you, but can we just please like discuss the topic instead of like getting mad at each other for no reason? Like that was always my thing. Like I want to be able like to discuss the topic instead of just be like, no, you're wrong. Like be like immature about it,
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Some people are weird. They like they take any kind of like question as a direct attack to their character and who they are as a person. Like you'd be like, someone could be like, man, it's not as simple as I like dogs, and then the other person's like, well, I really like cats, and they're like, oh, what do you like about cats? They're like, what do you mean what I like about cats? They're amazing. Dogs are terrible. Like it's like, I'm not insulting
I can't do all that.
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I'll sit there. It's just like, man, like I can't believe like my dog just shit on the floor. It's like, oh, but it's so, or like, well, what is like those stubborn people that no matter what you say, they're always gonna stick to that like belief or something. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm okay with you sticking to your beliefs, but I don't like it if you're sitting there being like, you're wrong, just 100%.
And open to criticism.
You're just wrong. Yeah. Criticism's amazing. Criticism is very good.
Yeah, it's good to
especially if you're young. Criticism might suck when you're very young and you're sitting there like, man, like that guy just trying to hurt your feelings. But instead of taking it like he's trying to hurt, like that person's trying to hurt your feelings, you should probably take it like either one, they could just be like being a dick, or two, they might actually be right and be like, let's say like you're doing like a sport like football or something, and like you throw a ball like you throw a ball but you throw it shitty, and like, hey, like you could do it like this way, it's probably better. Like your ball throw like kind of sucks, dude. And you take that personally, it's like, no. Like, yeah, you did like be mean about it, but it's like, okay, maybe we should practice it more and look into it and be like, okay, he's probably right. My ball throwing probably does suck and I should probably improve it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Even like on the relationship topic again, like with, because for a huge part of relationships, you're in a state of mind that's like, you just want everything to work out. And you kind of don't want to take criticism on your relationship. You don't want to, but you probably should. And usually friends can see things that you've been like that clouded, have been clouded away from your mind,
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, oh no, she's doing this, or like, like, oh, maybe she's just like, I don't know, whatever's going on. Like maybe she's talking to someone else and you're like, oh, no, she's not. There's no way she wouldn't do such a thing. I love her. Like,
yeah.
Then like,
yeah, that's exactly how I was in my first relationship. Everybody was sitting there telling me like, no, bro, like, dude, like, you should probably be careful. Even her dad was like, dude, like, don't do it. Even mom was like, you should probably break up with her. And I was like, no, I love her. I was like, no, there's no way that could happen. Even friends were telling me like, dude, something's going on with her. And I was just like, nah, you guys are all full of shit. There's no way that she would do something like that. And world behold, she did everything. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It doesn't even have to be something drastic like that. It can be like something as simple as like, I think she might be upset, but you're like, oh no, she loves me, she would never be upset, and then, or if you're stressing about her being upset and you're like, nah, she has to be upset, and then you're talking about it to your friend, you're like, man, yeah, this is like happened, this is kind of the situation, and they're like, no, it seems like very normal, just conversation. I think you might be overthinking it a little bit. And sometimes you don't want to
get
be
like an outside point of view.
Yeah, especially when they're neutral. But honestly, the thing I really don't like because I've seen this a lot with like girls' friendships and not much with
I know where you're
guys.
going with this.
But like some like in relationships I've had, like my girlfriend would like talk to their friends about, like something that's going on, and then their friend would like freaking take their side completely, nothing, be completely biased. And like I think that's like, that's, you don't get nothing, you don't get anything done if you're like being completely biased, because they're just saying what you want to hear. And like some friends will do that, because I feel like you're real good friends. They'll actually give you constructive criticism. They'll tell you what, if you're in the wrong, they'll be like, yeah, maybe they're not gonna be like a terrible person about it. Like, you're
they won't sit there and
agree.
They won't agree with everything you say. They'll be like, they'll share their own opinion. Be like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's like, and I don't know. I feel like that's like.
That's
good.
also why I hate I don't know. That's also why I hate talking to other people outside of the relationship about the relationship, because they can also form like an outside opinion that's not even like correct or anything, and then it also can start like drama for no reason.
Yeah,
like you sit there and be like, oh yeah, she did this, and he's like, what? And you tell your one friend, they tells another friend, and they might twist it like a little bit, then all of a sudden everybody knows about it, like, oh my gosh, he did this to her or something, and it's like, oh, like, no, well, what is that? It's like that thing, I don't know if you ever seen King of the Hill, where it's like, King of the Hill, his son was playing baseball and he got hit with a ball, and his dad was like yelling at him for some other, just like something else inside of a store, and they saw that his son had a black eye, and the parents were like, oh my gosh, his son has a black eye, like he must have hit him. And then it turns out, oh, he did hit him or something, but in reality he just got hit by a ball. And like the father had nothing to do with it. Like there was no actual negative situation whatsoever. But over like people talking about it a bunch and through translation, it might turn into something that actually isn't happening.
Yeah.
And that's how drama's just like hell.
Yeah.
That's why I really hate like dating someone who has like a lot of friends that they talk to about like a lot of their personal stuff. I'm just like, because I already know like their friends are gonna hate me eventually.
Yeah,
you already know it's gonna happen. You have that gut feeling. My ex and her best friend would talk about literally everything, and me, her and her best friend were always chill. We never had any problems until I started dating her. Then me and her best friend did not like start liking each other. It was awful. Yeah, that stuff can always happen.
Honestly, it's annoying, but hey, it's fine. You gotta find the good, the best of both worlds when it comes to like telling friends about it. You always gotta tell that one friend, we all know that one friend that's just like has never been in a relationship their entire life, but they're like give the best advice for some reason.
Yeah, like what is it? It's like your friend, like Joe the Dude, or like my friend Demon.
Yeah.
Like I could just sit there and tell them, and it's just like, oh, like it's fine. Like you get the outside source of someone who doesn't have any experience, and they can just give like a rightful judgment of like what they could either do, or like it just the outside point of view just helps out so much.
Yeah. Good. It's good. It's really nice, and honestly, I think that's how this podcast should end.
So thank you guys so much for watching our dating advice.
Thank you everyone.
Let's get to 100. Let's get to 100 subs, and I hate you.
I'm not even saying it. I'm just.
I know you're not. You're just mumbling stupid words. I've been listening. I've been
beatboxing, man.
Thank you guys so much for watching the Timeless Podcast. And get us to 100 subs. Let's go. We're almost there. 19 more subs, and we will be at 100. That'll be all thanks to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Steve is being dumb and saying stuff, and he's gonna get muted anyway, so it doesn't matter. Goodbye. Oh, also subscribe to my main channel and follow me on Twitch. Bye. It's in the description. Bye.
Yeah, my dog's barking in the background. Thank you everyone for listening to the Thomas podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Yeah, description. Yeah, goodbye. Love you.